Mic check, 1, 2, this ain't a pool track or crew, this warehouse 15, but legends speak true. 3 rings on my fingers, gold medals gleam, but under this armor, life ain't always what it seemed. Yeah, we trained hard, pushed limits, reached the peak, but the pressure cooker boiled, man, so weeks I couldn't speak. Sponsorships.
Does that work night? Welcome back to the Warehouse 15, and after much consternation, delay, and time, we finally have our next guest who couldn't figure out how to work.
The first Asian in the world that couldn't figure out technology.
Unbelievable. I think he's got a Commodore 64. Still a Commodore 64. We wanted to bring some diversity to the program, so we have decided to include an Asian. We're not sure what flavor Asian he is, but I think, are you Korean?
Yes, sir. We all same.
한국 사람이요. 아이고.
Same.
한국말로 조금요. 아이고.
That's pretty good, sir.
We'll be doing Korean today. I've been working on my native language, but welcome to the Warehouse 15, and as always, Grandmaster Disaster here. And as we said before, you have to raise your right hand, the right hand. The other right hand. All right. And you have to repeat the following words. I promise not to get offended, but if I am offended, I will be willing to accept the apology of sorry, not sorry.
I will sue.
All right, good. Stand in line. Stand in line.
Hey, that's just the way the world is right now.
I understand there's a former Olympic coach that would love to do that too. But we'll talk about him later. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, doing great. It's great to be here with you guys. I felt a little bit, underwhelmed. So with all you Olympian medals.
Nice.
I got a gold medalist. I got a silver medalist. I got bronze medalist.
Nice.
I got Canadian Coach of the Year and one of the greatest coaches and mayor of freaking West Side, USA. I had to bring my belt.
I like the
How do
belt.
I compete with you guys, man?
Hey, pull up the swag chain. Pull up the swag chain.
Oh, actually, I gave that away. So I had to bring the belt. So now I feel a little bit more comfortable with you guys.
Well,
I appreciate you guys inviting me.
We're honored to have you on here. That puts you one rung above TJ on the list because the belt is gold. So
take a picture and put that on your back screen for the next one.
We're gonna have to put it up. Well, welcome. I'll let Coach Moreno do the bona fides on you, Mr. Moreno, Coach.
First, Coach Lee. Everyone knows he's been a very successful guy, but thank you for coming on the podcast. You're our second guest. Obviously, we had Mr. Don Wilson on last week, and we wanted to have you, so we're super to have you. As you guys know, Coach Lee is one of my best friends. We know each other for a long time. We've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I give him a lot of credit for my expansion of peak performance. He actually came up with the original idea. A lot of people don't know that. And every time I talk in private, podcast, I always give you a lot of credit. So thanks for coming on. Before we kind of pass around, we always do a quick little shout out. I got my shout out. I got 2 shout outs. One, just because I think it's a great thing. I want to shout out to Alex Colbert in Michigan. He's having a state championships today. Saturday. And he's got 700 people. This guy's his father's a grandmaster. He's kind of grown up in martial arts, and man, he's got a 700, person event in Michigan. I saw. Shout out to Alex Gore doing big things. And I told you last time I got my swag from. Oh, can you see it from Top TKD? Really?
Oh, nice.
I got my Top TKD shoes. What?
Oh, those look nice.
Oh, those are nice.
Look, I got 2 pair because I am a man that's confident in myself. I even got the boom.
Oh, nice.
What I gotta do to get a pair of Taekwondo shoes?
Yo,
you told me you know a guy. Can I get a pair?
I'll get you Top TKD.
Hey, where's the company from?
Top TKD. Can I get a pair? I wear Taekwondo shoes too.
Listen. Hey, man, Top TKD representing. They hooked me up. So, thank you to you guys. I'm gonna wear them.
10 and a half. 10 and a half. If they want them on the foot of an Olympic gold medalist, 10 and a half. Just saying. And
then, let me bring my belt back out now.
Those are almost as nice as my White Castle shoes that Anthony Graff gave me. So Anthony Graff gave me a nice pair of White Castle.
No. Top. White Castle.
Top
Come on.
TKD from California. No, seriously, I bought some shoes. I wanted to try them out, and I had a little problem with my fitting, sizing, and they just hooked me up right away. So,
Oh.
thanks to you guys. I know they're growing their business, so hopefully we can get you guys some shoes as well. Master Jennings, I will take care of you. Namaste.
That's crazy. I wear Taekwondo shoes. Coach Lee! I don't got a shout out, but
I'd like to
welcome.
sponsor, Flow.
Flow. Trying to get this man a welcome. You cutting me off? My shout out, welcome to the podcast, sir. I'm super excited for you to be here. You know, like Coach Randall said his little piece of it, but I know you've been around me since I can't even remember when, and always been an influential part of like keeping me motivated and keeping me, you know, in the direction I needed to go for the Olympic Games and to qualify and, you know, there with me. So I always appreciate you, you know that. So I'm super excited to have you on so we can talk a little bit. But
why did he never help me? How come he helped you two guys? He never helped me. And then now I know I've been demoted. Like he's the best friend of you two.
Sir.
What about me?
You're like I said, the Grand Master, the master. So
Yoda.
you're like our mentor and senior and role model. We looked up to you.
I had the good fortune to watch all of you compete and do amazing things, and just be so happy for your continued success. And Coach Moreno does always talk about you and all the things that you've done for him and with him and all the great things that you guys continue to do. And so I think we're fortunate. One of the beauties of our sport that we've been given is that we get to meet people that are of like mind, like bodies, and like to do things the same way. So people that come on this podcast are people that have done it the way we think it should be done. And so I'm really glad to have you. I know there's a lot you want to say, despite the bird cage hat on in honor of Gene Hackman that Mr. Moreno is wearing. So may Gene Hackman.
No hate, man. No hate. No.
I'm not. It's not hating. I'm not judging. I'm just saying a little bird cagey. But if you get that reference, you're old enough. All right, let's get started. What do we got today, gentlemen?
No, I think we're going to keep it a little bit open. I mean, let's talk a little bit about you first, Coach, and then actually today I would like to talk about the Grand Prix Challenge that's going to be coming up in North Carolina, just because it's a little bit of hot topic. Actually, my phone's been buzzing all morning since I posted something in a chat. So we'll get to that. But Coach, tell us what's going on with you. I know you have obviously a big program going on in Minnesota. You have athletes that you coach both in Haiti and in Gambia. What are you guys doing? What's good?
Right now we're just preparing for Mexico here in the beginning of April. We have the Junior Pan Ams and the U22s, and also got a couple students going there just to compete in the Open. But after that, at the end of April, we'll just be going to Ethiopia for the Africans Presidents Cup.
Ooh.
Then that's about it until the June Grand Prix Challenge.
First time in Ethiopia?
What was that?
First time in Ethiopia?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I've never been. Let me ask you something, Coach Lee. Like, you've been to 2 Olympic Games now. You coach Haiti the first time, and you coach Gambia. Your own personal athlete. You coach your daughter at one, and then you coach your personal athlete from the, someone that you kind of brought in from.
I just want everybody to know where Gambia is, so I'm putting it on the screen.
I was like, what the heck?
Shout out to Alisson. Let's go.
Just so we can know where Gambia is situated. It is between Senegal and Guinea. Something.
Thank you for the geography lesson there.
Yes, and that would be in West Africa. Some of my favorite food comes from West Africa. I have not been to Gambia though. All right, I'll stop the share. I apologize.
But they're going to Ethiopia, not Gambia, anyway. But how was that experience for you? They were two different. Like you had a COVID Olympics, and then you had the Paris Olympics.
I mean, again, it's always an honor to be there. It was an amazing experience, like always. We always have a good time because it helps when all my friends are there. You guys are there, so. To help me, guide me, and if I need it, have any questions or help, you guys are always there for me. But
and just in case you didn't know where Ethiopia was,
what the heck is going on
that's
here?
Ethiopia. All right,
I feel like I'm at school now.
We got to teach. We got to teach too, I guess. Let's go.
But again, it's you guys have been there, and you guys have led the way and really helped guide me to reach that level. But the experience is always amazing. I'm very grateful for everything.
Nice, nice. What do you think about right now with like Taekwondo in the Pan Am region? And you went to
Oof.
U.S. Open and Canada.
Went
Went
to
to both.
U.S. Open, went to Canada. Prior to that, we were in Serbia for training camp to prepare for that. But it's a tough thing, I think, for us. I think it's such a huge disadvantage for the Pan Am regions because of the size of it, how much we have to travel, how far we have to travel, the expense of it. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I think our numbers are, especially in Canada and US, have dropped dramatically
You're
because
not
of
wrong.
because of a lot of reasons. But for the points and things like that, it just doesn't help us one bit. When again, we've always talked about it, where the Europeans got such a huge advantage over us, and yeah, I think it's a problem that I think needs to be fixed.
What do you think? Because it's interesting. The Pat 2 has a lot of G1 tournaments, so we can get the points now. But because we're so big, we're not getting the quality like you saw. And I know you've gone to Spain for camps, you went to Serbia for camps. Like, what did you see at those camps?
Just the numbers. I mean, they have so. If you guys are, I'm sure you guys all see it on social media. The camps that they're hosting are just massive because the sport is growing so fast out there. And again, in our region, South America, we don't have the funding as well to travel and do these things. So I think it's a huge problem, in my opinion. And
well, we have a business component to it too, as well, because if you think about it, most camps here, generally speaking, are business orientated, and you don't have a lot of funding, so you got to pay for everything. Whereas if you go to Europe, they give these stadiums and locations where these people can just a housing, where people could stay if they need to. So, the cost for a person might be, I'm just using a number, $500, to pay for the event and stay and eat versus us, it's $500 to get on a plane,
I
and then
mean,
the entry fee and hotels and blah blah blah.
I mean, look at us for Canada. For we're just under Canada. It cost me what, $800 just to fly there.
Yeah,
for a 2.5 hour flight. I mean, in Europe, you can fly to another country for $75.
Yeah,
and then I've done that, travel hack all the time. You always compliment me on that. We'll fly to one country for dirt cheap, and we'll get another ticket there so yeah, I think it's a issue that needs to be discussed, and hopefully they can come up with a better solution. But who knows in our sport.
so let's talk about let's talk a little bit about the Grand Prix Challenge. You want to kind of explain that a little bit, TJ?
Yeah, so the Grand Prix challenges, I mean, I know most of the people that are watching know, but the Grand Prix challenges started as a outside of 70 tournament. So you had to be 70 or higher to even qualify for the competition, which I thought was cool. It kind of offered you that mix of like a young guy getting into the Grand Prix system and see what they can do. I think it was more for like the bigger countries that can produce more people, the Korean country, China's, all those guys that can produce athletes a little bit faster than we can produce athletes. But anyways, and now we have it coming to North Carolina here in Charlotte. And it's been changed from outside of 70 to open to everybody, basically, which I right there in that beginning, I don't like, because, I mean, I don't like it simply because then we fast forward to them capping it at 50. So they're going to cap the competition at 50, and then they're going to allow 4 or 5 max per division, per person in each division. And I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit. But I was super excited about this event. I got my guys all around. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get my young guns in there. They're gonna get it shot. Hopefully we get some big matches, some good exchanges. And then the rest of the rules come out where it's capped at 50. And now these countries are, coming up with selection procedures and how they're gonna get in and who they're gonna send and all this stuff. And I think within that has become a lot of flawed systems. So I guess, Coach Man, you can start and kind of, if I missed anything, let me know. Can I ask you a question? Yes, sir.
So how are they determining, or is it going to be transparent on like who are the first 50 registered, or how does that?
So my thing is, I know WT said it to be as first come, first serve. And I was talking a little bit earlier, like, technically in my brain, I know it's not the right answer, probably not the right answer, because who knows, but then it would be a whole bunch of other stuff. But then it should be almost first come, first serve every single place. because that's what it's supposed to be. And now each country has made their selection procedure on how they're going to put people into this process of first come, first serve. And I don't know. I think it's just gotten super jumbled up, but there is no way to know. We just have to hope that, they got our email first, or they got the email first, and they opened it first, and they accepted it first, and all that good stuff. So who knows,
I'm writing right now because, the coaching chair for WT, his name is Coach Robert. He's from Ireland, super, super nice guy. And he just got some information from the WT. And, what I'm writing right now, imagine that USA, Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Serbia, Turkey, Spain, France, Egypt, and they all apply with 5. So you're telling me Korea, Iran, China, Russia, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, all those countries are just going to be, oh, sorry, you're too late. First come, first serve basis. Like that's where we're at. Like, how do we know? I mean, I think time differences,
Yeah. I think it's the biggest part. I forget who said it. I think Master Park said it actually, like these are extra 20 points out there, right?
Yeah.
Like these are extra 20 points. So I wasn't even looking at it from that standpoint for my guys. I was looking at it from like, getting to these big events, take a shot at it. But for it to be an extra 20 points, capping it at 50, it being open invitation and first come, first serve, it just gets a little strange. Because now those points become important for a lot of people, So it's going to be interesting, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be. I listen. I think it's going to be controversial. I listen. I don't think the WT, kind of figured, thought about this, unfortunately. But this is a big problem. If you're the host country like the United States, are you preparing for 50 people or 500 people? I mean, it's a big problem, and I don't think they saw this. But when they said it's open because it's going to qualify you for the next Grand Prix, that's where the problem was.
Yeah.
Or they should have said it's open. It could be any ranking, but the country has to pick 2 people. You know what I'm saying? Like every country gets 2, and if every country in the world sent it, well, that's what you got. Or if only 20 countries, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just that fact that it gets you into the Grand Prix. That's the thing, get you into the Grand Prix. So who and what country and anywhere in the world does not want to be there? You know what I mean? And this is the first one of these things we've gotten over here in this side of the world, and who does not want to be there? Of course, as any organization, they want to send a guy there. They want to send 2 guys there. They want to send 4 guys there because it's an extra shot at those important events for next year. And like, I don't know. I think, like you said, it got a little jumbled up, a little twisted up. So,
well, I mean, it's funny because I had a meeting with my Olympic contact in Brazil, and I was explaining this new 2-year cycle. I said, you have to give us a little bit of a break because this is brand new. I mean, we've had a couple cycles at 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. So we knew how to plan. We knew how the points went down. But now with this, I'm just looking, Juan Moreno makes a good point on this WT chat. Now with this 2-year cycle and this, qualifying and not qualifying and resetting of the points, this is difficult. This thing with only 5 people just came out last week. I'll give all the organizations, USA included, like a little bit of a break because now people had to put criteria. Like, what 5 are we going to choose? And USA came up with our, a process. We actually came up with a very different process in Brazil. But now everyone's, maybe some countries, they can do whatever they want. No, you. But in most democratic countries, there has to be some kind of criteria, some kind of, protocol. And I think this is it's a big problem. It's a big unforeseen problem by us, and it's the fault of the WT and under the great leadership of. Go ahead, Grandmaster. That's a lead for you, Grandmaster Chris.
Don't tell me you missed alley-oop. Don't tell me you missed alley-oop.
The soon to be departed, I hope, the clown show.
Hey. What happened to your shoulder? What happened to your shoulder, man?
My shoulder, I was attacked by ninjas from both Kukiwan USA and the Kukiwan. They sent out their best and brightest. And luckily for me, I actually still do real Taekwondo. So I didn't injure my shoulder in the altercation. I injured my shoulder from clapping myself on the back for hitting people and showing them what real Taekwondo still look like. So it's time,
don't tell me, sir, you're still doing like 1 steps.
I learned 1 steps and 3 steps. I don't do that.
We were just talking about it.
But I'm not talking about when, Taekwondo first came here and it came from karate and they were doing 1 step and 3 step copying the Shotokan. I'm
Yo,
talking about
time out. I got a
real
black belt test
Taekwondo.
on Saturday, and we got some one steps. So y'all need to slow your
Take
roll.
it
Bro.
You better
Yeah.
do there's that one step. You better do that one step where they do it in the club to the music and they're doing the you know,
That's a
whatever that
two-step.
thing is.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna
Oh.
mention the name. We have a really good friend that's supposedly a Hapkido master, and he grabs me like this, and then he says, "No, not like this, like this."
You can't
No,
grab
the
me
other
like
hand.
that. You gotta grab me over here.
Use your right arm on your left arm. Yeah, not that
He's
way. The
pretty
other arm.
badass. He's pretty badass when he
Hey.
gets his, his hand where he needs it
All
to
right,
be. But before that,
I don't want to out the Koreans, but let's be clear. Taekwondo came from karate. Hapkido is Aikido, just with an H, and Judo is Judo, just with a Y. So let's call them as we see them. And Kumdo, I have no idea what that is, but it sounds kind of.
so basically, what you're
I
saying,
think we're gonna have
should
to
be-
get one of those diamond books then.
Yeah.
Ooh,
The
the V one.
diamond. I'm gonna get one. Wear that with my belt.
The beauty of Taekwondo
own
is that
podcast.
continues to be, despite the Olympic efforts to make it something else, it's still considered just to be the most dynamic kicking sport in the history of mankind. All you have to do is go back and watch some tapes of people actually doing it at a high level, the greats of the world, including some of the people on this Zoom call. So I will still wait for the day for it to circle back when we're done with the foot.
Hey, let's
I
talk
don't think you're coming back.
Nah, he ain't coming back. He's not coming
I
back.
think it's circling a little bit. I mean, I think it's more back, like more action. I think we're changing.
Oh, yeah.
a little bit.
Well,
no?
the game's changed a little.
Yeah. I think I don't know what that was. I think it's going back a little bit. Even starting with just the Koreans, like all their lower weights, they're doing a lot
why
of
you guys
backbreaking
singling me
exchanges.
out today? I don't get that.
I thought you were Chinese. They told me you were Chinese.
Whoa!
I had no idea. I mean, I
First
saw.
of all, wait. First of all, he said it. They're all the same at the beginning. Don't forget he said same. We're all same.
Hey, you the same thing too.
Kimchi.
all
Let's
three
be
of you
clear. Kimchi came from China. China.
Oh, here we go.
Just so you
my
know.
God.
No, I'm telling you,
This is
you
like
guys.
a history, geography by Professor Perez. Saying that
Look,
everything's from China.
first of all, I want to say this is a very diverse group.
I
We
did
have
have some Chinese in me though. When I took my little DNA test, it was like 0.06%. I'm Chinese too. My people,
Hey,
my brothers.
when I was a little kid, they used to ask my brother if I was adopted because they thought I was Chinese because I always have these like little beady eyes, like
Whoa.
Camila.
Okay.
Hey, no,
is that
I
why?
gotta say,
That's why I'm on the show today. I was like, you guys trying to make jokes.
hey, listen,
Like
we got
making jokes, man.
No, but
Hey,
you know what?
anyways, going back to the scoring.
Wait, time out. People used to say that I was racist, that I didn't like Koreans, that I didn't want any Koreans. I'm like,
What?
my best friend is freaking Korean. Look at this
You
guy.
do the best Korean accent I've ever heard.
this
in
is
my
Oh yeah,
life.
he's the best.
He's pretty good.
Yes. Oh boy.
Oh
Just
boy.
Hold on. Is
Oh,
kimchi Chinese or Japanese? Hold on a second.
3,000
It
years
is a
ago.
traditional fermented dish and is a staple in Korean cuisine, not Chinese or Japanese, and is recognized as an intangible cultural.
Oh, Professor
heritage.
Jerez is wrong.
Dang.
So
Yeah.
Korean cuisine kimchi, but let's be clear, the Chinese have a version and the Japanese have a version. So, but this is from the Korean website. Oh, I see. That's why it says that. All right, I got it.
All right.
Hey, I got a question.
I stand correct. Go
Since
ahead.
we're on the subject of
Kimchi?
Korean language,
Yeah.
I think Coach Jennings, they were or something on Mr. Lewis's website about the official language.
Oh yeah.
Were people like going? Were they totally off topic, or was I lost there a little bit?
No, they were all up. You know what? It's always you got to look at who posts
What's
what.
the official language?
I normally.
What are we talking about?
They said that
Right.
Spanish wasn't
English,
good enough, so they made English. I'm just kidding, but English the official language for WT, which to me made completely total sense because they're just trying to standardize it for everyone. And the people that are commenting were, I think they
were, but like again, you got to
people
look at who was. Yeah, you got to look at who was posting and who was saying well. Like they were like far off in the left field somewhere. They're playing a whole nother game. They were talking about Taekwondo started in Korea. How funny is that? It's like, what are you talking about? Like
we're using Korean language inside the dojo. I was totally lost.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
one guy took a test in Korean and then he did something else in Korean and he was like the authority on Korean language in 12 states or something. I don't know, but like it got way off topic though. But
Then
that's why I normally
I think one person said it should be the official language should be Chinese.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It was the what count is that? The Hall of Fame, Taekwondo Hall of Fame or something
Mr.
like
Robbins.
that.
Mr. Robbins.
It was the one fat dong. That was the guy that made that comment, and he wanted it to be the official language.
It was Mr. Robbins, Mr. Gerald Robbins.
He said it should be Chinese.
Yeah, he was saying that Chinese is the most spoken in the world, so it should be. I don't think he really meant it.
Yeah,
I think it should be
a graphic from
Esperanto.
2019.
Esperanto. Let's go with the future.
But that's funny. People are just.
And then he questioned my upbringing
and
my tact on how to deliver information. So that was interesting. It's just goofy. It was like we were talking one language and they were talking one language. You know, we were talking Taekwondo and they were talking something else. So it was all good.
It was crazy. Good stuff.
What do you think about have you seen TJ? You probably have seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. You may not care to talk about it or not talk about it, Coach Lee, but the list for the Grand Prix from the United States, whenever that gets
yeah, I saw some of it. Some of it. You kind of feel bad for some of the athletes because of the again, for the procedures that they had to come up with. And I mean, I think it puts them in a tough spot. And unfortunately, some of the top athletes can't compete there, which
a few.
Yeah, not too many, but still, you still have some of your top players that can't go and compete. That's kind of a shame. And
I'm just looking at
who does it exclude? Who does it exclude?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
That's Sophia O'Gara.
Yeah. So they had
she's
what
awesome.
They had a criteria for like national team. I don't remember, a national team, and then above and below, and then World Olympic ranking, and then USA ranking. And it looks like they only picked 4. So I'm reading, is it 4 or 5? So if there's 5, why did they pick 549? I think it's going to end up being 4. So one girl, for example, in the United States, she's actually a talented athlete, and she lost at team trials this year, but she had went to a division because the USA Taekwondo was looking at their Olympic weight categories, which is not a bad idea. And instead of her fighting her natural weight, her bantamweight, and so anyway, long story short, she kind of got excluded from this list.
Are we talking about 67?
No, I'm talking about 49.
Oh,
Sophia.
Okay. I'm like, okay, yeah, Sophia, yeah, 67 too. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but 67 too. I don't know, maybe she didn't apply her, but like I'm surprised when I see what's her name, Chloe Chu on there in 62 or 67. That is
weird.
Yeah,
her brother is.
I didn't see Montana either.
I saw that.
Montana Miller, nope.
That's true too.
I didn't see her, so I don't. Like I said, I don't know what if they applied or not. But it's kind of, it's sad that these guys who are committed, been around, they're great athletes, and they just can't be there. So.
And I didn't see it the first time too, but someone told me on the selection somewhere they set it to all points collected through March 10th, right? So that allows the Dutch Open points to go into that selection process. My question is, how many other Americans were at the Dutch Open other than like the academy athletes? Did we have a big showing there?
I think Donica was there. Donica did.
Yeah,
was there.
But my point is, we set it to that date. Why? Because they were going to the Dutch Open and they wanted the points included in the selection for them?
Well,
good point.
I'm just asking. That's just
what do you think? What do you think?
Why? I think, and again, I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure it said March 10th, and it's just like, again, why we're making rules and selection procedures and doing things that benefit them. Like I'm gonna say not that many other U.S. athletes went to the Dutch Open. No. I'm gonna say that. I didn't look at the overall, but I'm gonna say.
I think there's like 2.
Right. The reason why.
Of course, the reason why, but that just doesn't make it right. Like why? Like why that date? Why that date? You gotta do better than that. Why halfway through a month? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like it's all for. That's an issue, but anyways, sorry. But yeah, I did see the list.
There's a lot of issues.
Yeah, there's a few people missing on the list that it's unfortunate, but
there's also a few people on the list that like really surprised me. Like there was a gentleman that actually is from Northern California. He's a good little fighter, but he's a good fighter. But he fought 58 at the team trials. He lost his first match, and now he's into the 68. I know he normally weighs the 63 kilos, but like, but you fought 58, and you didn't make it, and now you're up in the 68. Like I mean, you got to give
I don't know where his points were. That's a good question. I think it's 63 though. You always fight 63. So I
So
know
maybe his
that's
points are
kind of
there.
like his thing. Yeah, that's a possibility too. I think so. But
And
like
you
I
want
don't
to give
like
him
the
a
whole.
chance.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. But I wouldn't say like even going off the ranking right now didn't make much sense. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say if we were ever gonna use our internal ranking system, maybe that would have been more important than this other thing when you just include the U.S. Open and the U.S. Open and the team trials or the nationals or figure something out. I don't know, but as far as using the ranking, I'm gonna say it didn't make much sense.
I'm not gonna divulge our system, but we didn't use we used the Olympic ranking, but it was further down, and even our national team was further down because I mean it so happens that our national team is what we wanted to be this time, but again we have some people that because they've been fighting already opens and stuff like that. All of a sudden they're ranked pretty high. I mean, they're ranked 10 in the world. They're really not number 10 in the world. They're just 10 in the world because people are just starting,
Right.
So
Just so we can be
keto
clear.
known.
Based on the kicking motions and incorporating elements of Aikido. Just keeping
Can
it
you play
real.
the pronunciation for me, sir? Can I hear the
I hear it.
pronunciation?
Can we get a picture of Steven Seagal?
Hapkido.
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 That sounds
Hapkido.
very
Hapkido.
Hapkido.
that's very very
Anglicized?
gentle sounding.
Hey, I got one thing to say, but from the last episode, you guys, that was great with Mr. Lewis. I don't know who cut him off, but someone asked the questions because you got to bring him back on. You got to bring him back on because I want to hear about the 3 gold mines. He's like, someone said, "Hey, tell us about the 3 gold mines." I was like, I don't know who stopped it. I was like, dang, I want to forget this karate stuff. Let's hear about let's talk about gold mines here, man.
Yeah, because I asked him because I want to know. I mean, I know
I want to know
exactly, but I want to know, like, was it like millions of dollars, or was it because homeboy sitting around and up in the mountains chilling out, retired?
I'm sure building a compound.
I'm sure he did okay, and that's what I want to learn. Like, okay, next time we all go to Colorado, we'll meet up. We'll get our bucket and go to the river. Grandmaster Perez, you're gonna be. We'll put the rocks in the bucket. You go carry it up to the. I don't know what to call it, that little.
Oh my God.
These are images.
And we can take the money that we make, then we can fund the team.
Here he is.
Fun a team. See, that's what I like about you. You still think about the athletes. We go get all these gold rocks and we go fund a team right afterwards.
Hey, but that's living, right? Down. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have fun, travel, be with your boys.
Win some medals. I win some medals. Win a lot of medals.
You guys are fake, man. Yeah, we already talked about this. You know what you're gonna do if you got $1 billion. You know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm building a taekwondo compound.
I'd make a podcast studio for you guys.
Yeah,
we could just build a little, fortress.
Yeah, compound.
Airplane, get off.
Oh yeah.
On the airplane.
Okay. Hey, but
after that,
I would buy all of his tickets so we could be on that plane.
Okay.
There we go.
I don't know if Grandmaster Perez knows what you're talking about.
He knows. He'd get on a plane too, slap a few people.
You
had all the money in the world. You wouldn't get on a plane and just go slap a few people.
I am on a slap fest. I'm starting, but before we go any further on that, I want to replay a great.
Is that Pro TKD?
This is the Pro TKD. And
Coach Lee fought in there.
Hey,
this is who it is.
You should have watched that match today. Oh yeah,
you should have watched him. Is that Michael Tang? Are you fighting Michael Tang?
Yeah,
that I am.
Gosh,
good times.
And this was in later years.
Much later.
I had no idea. Oh
no, Coach Lee.
Oh my! Did you see that back
matches too, right? You did a kickboxing match. You did like
I
did
some MMA and I did some jiu-jitsu tournaments and actually I did an MMA match with Coach Marino.
Okay. I remember that too.
Iowa.
Not against me, but he did.
We were on the
same time.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I think I do remember. But didn't you hurt yourself?
I tore my ACL.
I thought you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. And Yeah, where was it? Small town Iowa. And
yeah, man, it was awesome.
it was cool, but
No,
How old were
I've
you?
been there.
oh, what was that 37?
Mid-30s. Yeah.
So if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it like right now, huh? Damn.
You
I
what
gotta
do
do it right now.
you thinking about going MMA or boxing?
Well,
You gonna follow
38.
Jay Jones?
Ooh, I like boxing though. I really do. I like boxing.
Too
I like
slow.
That's a
boxing
tough
Too
sport,
Too
man.
slow.
You're too
You
slow. You're like,
crazy.
yeah.
Hey,
Don't
how about that Cuban guy, Robellis?
don't even. Who? Oh yeah. Mhm.
Dude, he's had what 4 matches total,
And
of
nobody
like
could-
20 seconds.
Yeah, he's a big
30.
boy though. What do you think?
But 4 4 matches total under 20,
But I'm
20
gonna say-
seconds total.
I'm gonna say any of those guys had a chance, like could stand up and like deal with his size and his strength, or had some real like background to them, or is it just building
But
him?
the problem is you can't take him to the ground. You get like a couple seconds in the ground, you got to stand up, so he's always going to be back in it. You know,
right? That's
and
cool.
that place is
But
small.
the power he must have,
yeah,
pretty
for sure.
pretty crazy. It's fun to watch.
Huge.
It's fun to
sure.
watch.
Well, I'm looking at your record in the MMA, and you won. You
Yeah.
beat Nate Kleinsfeld.
That was the second one. That was my second one.
That was the second.
That was a good one. That was a
was
spin hook
second.
kick and then the punch, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, what? How come
It was cool.
I need?
He got, hey,
Ah.
I tell people all the time, like he comes out, he does a spin hook kick and like hits the guy in the top of the head. The guy like falls over there and he runs like 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, and the guy's like, "Arr!" and he goes,
Hulk
like
smash.
it looked like a missile running here, and he just punched, and the guy was out. Spin hook kick, right, done. I'm like, damn,
That was fun.
pretty good.
I'm
I
waiting
gotta
for you,
find
Coach
I gotta find a
Jennings.
fight. I gotta find a fight. Somebody find me a fight. I'll fight somebody. Find me a
I
fight.
wish I could find some of Grandmaster Perez's, not like sport fighting, but some of the fights he had in the streets.
They were.
I got one in my brain.
I'm surprised you're out. That's all I'm gonna say.
What I'm
How
going
are
to
you
all I'm going to say is the good news is my record in non-arenas is better than my record in arenas. So I can suffice it to say that most of my unfortunate encounters resulted in my right hand leaving somebody unconscious and kicking too.
Thunder and lightning.
I liked using taekwondo, man. I used like back hook kicks and axe kicks, and I was ridiculous at that. I don't
I'm sure you used some
I don't
here and there.
condone violence, but I understand it. And Coach Moreno and I have been in we've been in our share of fracases in various countries, and unfortunately, because they would look at guys like us and underestimate the capacity for disaster and damage, and so we would have to help them understand through visual learning and tactile interplay with the mistakes of their ways, including one unfortunate incident in Korea where we spent some time in the Huskow, but that is
Hey, I mean, I won't go into I got a little funny moment of that one. I'm not going to talk about the details because I don't think we should. I don't want to.
I don't mind talking about it.
No. But there's a funny part, right? So in the middle of this fracas, there's, I mean, hundreds of people. Like everyone says thousands, but when you got 100 people around you, it's crazy. So anyway, after all this stuff breaks down, these guys are grabbing him, and we're trying to pull people away, and he yells to me, "Juan, my pants, my shorts." And I'm like, "Oh, if you know Master Perez, he doesn't wear underwear." And they were pulling him, so his pants were coming down.
Free Willy.
So
Free Willy.
I remember that in China. We were in China together. I remember that.
He's like, grab my shorts. So I'm underneath all these people, like trying to hold up his pants so his willy don't come out because everyone's.
I don't know if I'd want to share that story.
No, it's funny.
It had denigrated into the individual involved in the fracas who started the whole thing was a college student who didn't like the fact that we were downtown, and we were told not to go downtown. We went downtown anyway, and so this guy came across and started a thing, and then he unfortunately was on the worst end of it. We gave him an opportunity not to participate, but he chose the latter and ended up on the floor. At which point, when it turned into a mass melee in Myeongdong, and everybody in the world, they decided it would be time to disrobe me. So they took off my shirt, and it was summer, and that left only my shorts, of which we had very colorful shorts that we had got sponsored by Puma of all places. And I was like, boys, if they pull off my shirts, it will not be a pretty thing. It will not be. They have not.
Anyway,
treated
I
anything
digress.
quite
I
like that.
digress.
But anyway, we survived.
roll.
We had we survived. We got out alive, and although there were many that tried for us not to survive that, but we learned a lot about cultural exchange on that day, for lack of a better word. But that
You're
was
not going to put another map up, are you? Or
I should.
But you were young.
we're at
bud.
Myeongdong here in Seoul, South Korea. We're at this.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, he's looking. Don't give me any
No,
ideas.
I mean,
Hey,
anyway,
look at right now.
These are the shorts I had on.
oh, they were nice. I should find a picture. They were quite colorful, but I will all I can say is it was we have had many we had many good inter moments as team members, team bonding experiences, and that was one. And for those of you that may not know what Willie is, here he is.
Oh God!
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
I like
and
that. movie.
that is an old picture of
Oh,
Coach
God.
Come on,
Moreno.
Coach Jennings.
TJ.
Moreno with
Come on,
TJ.
Coach Jennings.
Oh,
What? What'd I
my
do?
God.
Wait, I
That's
missed
a
it.
great movie.
Hey,
Oh.
That
I got
was a
question
great
for you,
movie.
Coach
Y'all hate no
Free
Free
Willy.
Willy.
Total
There's no
change
way
of
y'all hate no
subject
Free
here.
Willy.
Total change of
Free Willy.
subject. It just
Free
came
Willy.
up to me for whatever
Oh,
reason.
man,
I saw Coach
Y'all are
Jennings.
haters. Y'all are haters.
No,
Go ahead.
no.
I'm listening.
Hey, so going back to, I think you guys talked about this a couple of shows ago about getting singled out for being friends with certain peoples in certain groups, correct?
Yes.
So did this not happen to you just recently at the U.S. Open as a coach?
When what we talking about? So I'm clear.
So,
Talking about US Open?
I believe a parent was, you're supposed to coach an athlete.
Oh yeah, I had a
But-
parent, and I mean, I'm not gonna go into these. I had a parent that was, reached out to me. Not a parent, one of my friends' parents reached out to me, and asked me to do them a favor and coach them at this event. And I was like, okay, cool, no problems, no worries. And I kind of made it. I talked to my guys, made sure it wasn't interfering with my personal athletes. All good. I get there, and the parent, my friend reached out to me and told me his parent wanted to talk to me. They came to me and we spoke, and it was basically like, sir, I feel really, not good about having this conversation. I just, but I have to tell you, like, I just don't feel, I'm worried that if you coach my daughter, it's not going to be good. Like, she just made the national team, and I didn't know all this stuff that was, going on between USAT and you and all this stuff. So I said, let me stop you. And I asked her, I was like, so you're worried at junior. We're talking about a junior, by the way. We're not talking about senior. Not talking about, like, we're talking about a junior. I was like, so you're worried about if I coach your daughter, something bad will happen from USAT. She's like, yes, I just don't want her, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it was just it was a little disheartening and very unfortunate for me because simple matter of fact, I did it as a favor. And now these kids, they're worried about at the junior level that, like, if you associate with me or if I'm in your chair with you, that they're going to do something or feel some type of way from you or not give you some further opportunity. That is crazy talk at its best. At its best. And I'm not even talking about my personal guys. And I know, and it's just such a, if we can complain about at the highest levels and talk about the national team and the Grand Prix and all this stuff that everyone deems to be the only important stuff going on. But at the junior level, people fear and feel that if I'm involved or they're around me, that something, hey, there we go. They're around me that the USAT is going to do something to affect them, to stop them or not like them or whatever the case may be. That's unfortunate, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's I think me and a couple of coaches talked about it too, where I don't know if it was just me, but seeing other coaches having USAT staff coach because they think they're gonna benefit. You saw some like Canadians. We had some coaches here have some of the staff members coach their people or their kids and thinking, I don't know, in my opinion, what's the purpose of that? Thinking they're going to get benefits from it and they're going to help them?
first of all, we got our national team members being coached by coaches from other countries while our national coaches are there. Like, so there's no real, like, there's can't be any rules to this shit no more. Like, the rules have been out the window. We don't have no respect for nobody. Like, we got our freshly new national team members being coached by other people from other countries, and the head coaches are there. Like, I don't understand that. Like,
first of all,
I know we talked about it, but like, take advantage of having your national team there. You didn't even take advantage of having the experience of having one of your guys there.
I agree. And think about just in California, how many great coaches they could pick, right, to help them if they needed the help. I mean, so you got Vilas, you got Sleems, you got the Smith brothers, but to pick, in my opinion, an incompetent coach because you're on a staff, that to me is comical a little bit.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm going to jump in. You know, first and foremost, I think like what you said, you know, TJ, about they're thinking about that on the junior level, and they're already concerned, you know, that if you're associated with some people, you're not gonna have the opportunities. That in itself is real, and that even if it's not real, that's what this mom or dad felt like they had to say to you. So that's real. Somebody else could be like, no, well, that's not really the case. That's what they feel, and that's not the first person or first group to feel that way or say that. So.
And that's all because of my post on Facebook where I literally said,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I said, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. This is what was said to me. This is how I feel. This is it. I don't think I said anything rude, disrespectful. I just called the truth. I called the truth about what's his name, Sherman yelling at parents in the stands and telling them to sit down instead of reprimanding the coach that's cursing at a kid. I told him what was said to me by the CEO. That's all I wrote. So because I said something that happened to me personally, I didn't even go as far as say they're terrible people or they don't deserve their jobs or fire them right away. I didn't say any of that. I just said what happened to me. And that made them uncomfortable and think that USAT is going to do something against them at the junior level.
Well, I think didn't USAT post something about that too? Like I forgot what the words.
Let's log off and do our fighting where it counts
in the ring,
weird like that in the ring. Like
no.
I don't know who wrote that.
I think they posted something like if you are a detriment to the team, which was very vague.
Oh, that whole coaching selection stuff. Oh yeah, we talked about that coaching selection stuff, Coach. Like where they're basically like, you know, they were trying to single out I'm gonna be honest with you, like tops coaches and people that worked with AAU at one point. And that's somehow a detriment to the program. And like what bothers me about that, I've been able to coach and interact with athletes that are currently on a national team through the tops program. So if I'm a detriment, I don't know who's a benefit. I've been helping the kids at a different level, and now they're on your national team. I coach some of them at the team trials, and now they're your national team members. So all these little spites and words are crazy. A detriment.
I got a quick little nugget for you. I mean, so if you think about this Grand Prix challenge from the United States, you have Michael Rodriguez in 68, Michael Rodriguez in 80. Naomi and heavy female heavy, Adriana Kubik in 67. You have Maya Mata. You have Isaiah Young. You have Noah Schoenfeld. Caitlin Cox. Am I missing any more?
Oh, you're talking from the top stuff?
Former Tops alums are in the Grand Prix challenge. How is that a detriment? They're good enough to move up that ladder and get there.
And so they weren't funding them. And they weren't funding them. AAU was funding them. Top program was funding them to go get Olympic ranking points and experience to be on your national team. Where's the detriment?
That's a talk. I'm gonna get back to what you're saying, Coach Lee. But even the Tops program. Listen, it only was developed. It only was born out of trying to give people some resources. That's it. It wasn't to make a team. It wasn't to put coach. It was for these athletes to go get Olympic points. And look what these kids did. They climbed the ladder. Some of them are still there. Some of them moved on to the academy. Some of them made the national team. But that's what it was for. How is that a detriment? How is that AAU organization? Whoa.
And is that Olympus? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
$20 on eBay, baby. $20.
Yeah, that blocks a little bad. You come my black belt test. But no, I just, being serious, just it's funny the detriment. We're kind of going all around with this, but getting back to even the tournament, just thinking that these poor kids or these poor parents or these coaches, and like you said, Coach Lee, you got some poor coach says, you know what? If I let Coach X sit in my kid's chair, it's gonna they're gonna be in good favor of me. They're not gonna do a better job than you. You train them every single day. It's an important tournament. And if you wanted to give them the national team experience, like we said last time, Coach Jennings, bring the cadet team, bring the junior team, bring the senior team, and say, we are going to coach you. We are going to give you this experience so that you can be better.
Well, what's crazy is, okay, so
go ahead.
I know this. So this scenario here. So
one second.
Say I bring my
we need an
students.
educational moment because we've been referring to it. So.
Oh man, you better quit.
Just hold on. We'll get there.
Exquisite online dating in USA.
So going back to that, so this is the scenario. Check this out. So say I bring my students there. I coach my students.
Attack is allowed.
I coach. What's that? What are you doing?
One step sparring, man. That was one step sparring.
Counterattack, but only one counterattack is allowed.
Look, only one.
Your next stance.
You see what we deal with? This is every week.
I watch it, but I watch it.
Hey, this is our ADD guy right here.
Yeah, you gotta stay focused. He's your test, man. You just gotta keep flowing.
All right, I'm back.
So this is so check it. I bring my guys there. I coach my guys, but for my kids, I have one of the USAT staff members coach. That's the type of stuff that's happening, right? It's kind of, which is kind of crazy because you're thinking I would have that guy coach all my athletes, correct? It's just weird, man. It's just all this stuff is just crazy from day one.
Fear of exposure to, and I'm not talking about the kind of exposure you're thinking about, TJ. Fear of exposure to others is a lack of self-confidence. So when you doubt yourself and you doubt your programs, you're unwilling to bring in people that may be able to help your programs. So you have to, and I used to run into this. So over the years, I had to think about it a little bit. I would go around the country and I would do seminars after the Olympics. And you know who I did seminars for mostly? Karate schools. Mostly karate schools. And the reason was because every Taekwondo instructor in the country was afraid to bring anyone else that did Taekwondo because it undermines them, they thought. Then when I started doing Taekwondo seminars and camps with Coach Moreno and others, then we opened that door. And even then, I can count the number of people that brought me in that were Taekwondo people, and the ethnicity question, which was fascinating to me. And however, when you go to Korea, the premier jiu-jitsu teacher is white. They don't fear knowledge. Their best, some of their best jiu-jitsu people, the guy who brought jiu-jitsu to Korea was a Jewish guy from Boston, and along with Steve Kapner, right? So you got to think about that for a minute. In the States here, in this organization that we call USA Taekwondo, that can't put a man on the Olympic podium, they are afraid of the best coaches in the country. What does that tell you? What does it tell you that when behind closed doors, it's been said to me, don't associate with this person. I can't tell you why, but they lack. And if you knew why, you'd know why we've excluded them. This is the kind of whisper campaign that goes on by the clown show from Great Britain and the guy, I was looking up, the middle finger guy, can't remember his name. I think Gareth Brown or something. And this is what happens, right? So when you fear your own bona fides or your success matrix, that's when you exclude.
How do we just pretend like that didn't happen? Like that man didn't just stick his middle finger up and put it on social media.
I just looked up there.
The leader of our athletes, and he's supposed to be the guy that's, like, how do we exclude it, pretend like that was a joke?
I looked up their social media post, and there's their thing, and it says their social media whatever protocol, and it's like, oh, if you say something not nice, we'll take it down. So what happened to Gareth Brown? I called Jay Warwick on this, and I called McNally, and I'm like, so let me get this right. Your national team coach can put up his middle finger in an international event and put it on Facebook, and you guys do nothing?
I think they might have reposted it. They might have put
But
it on
you
their
know
own
what?
personal page. Who knows?
But you know what? Again, it's listen. We know there's a double standard because again, God forbid you did it, Coach Jennings. God forbid
Oh,
you did
yeah.
it, Coach Lee. God forbid I did it. I mean, we'd be gone. We'd be gone. But certain other people can do it, and let's give it the benefit of the doubt. We talked a couple episodes ago about a situation at Nationals that happened, like no repercussions. As a matter of fact, that same person is traveling with the national team.
On invite. Did
Invite.
all the athletes from the national team get invites to go along or be a part? Do we know that? Did they get invited to go to Dutch Open and Belgium Open?
Oh, I highly doubt it.
Sure not. I'm sure not.
So
going
so
on
why?
that, I mean,
Again, why? I mean, it makes no sense. So if everyone's not, how are we getting personal invites to a kid that's not even on the U.S. national team? He's not even another person on the national team. So how do we get these invites? Let me know. How does this work? How do you get to go and train there and be a part and show up and do whatever? Just write it down somewhere so everybody knows. That's what I want. I don't care what y'all decide to do. Just write it down and show the people how it works.
I mean, we know at they select people that they think have potential, and then those people get preferential. I'm just saying, those people get preferential treatment over national team members. The national team member, at least for better or worse, whatever you think about them, they proved it on the day and won the team trials. They're the team member. But yet these other people, just because they've, I'm going to say, drank the damn Kool-Aid and said, I'll go out there. And now they get travel, they get coaching, they get whatever it is they get. I don't really know. But to your point, TJ, why not these other people that should be first in line? That should be first and foremost.
Well, I think that's part of the problem here, right? But going on that double standard, I want to ask Grandmaster Perez, because again, if any of us would have done some of this stuff, we would be crucified. This is kind of back in the day, I believe Coach Marino talked about this or told me about this when a board member contacted Coach Marino to not associate with me.
Right.
I don't know. Is that, I mean, what is that? A board member.
Yeah, the board members should be censured, right? But the problem is that they don't, the organization as a whole has become, I don't even want to use skittish. It's become insular, exclusionary, and protective of its perceived importance. And as such, it feels that it can, at its own discretion, exclude people or inherently exclude people or have people. We had a coach that was coaching when I was on the board. He was coaching other athletes from other countries while he was coaching our athletes. I didn't call anybody and say anything. I filed a complaint against him. I filed a complaint and had him removed. So we had a hearing. He was removed. I did the right channels. If you feel somebody's doing something wrong as an organization.
Okay. I got some.
That's the way you do.
We lost you. That's funny. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
Oh, so actually it's funny. You said, I didn't realize that. So again, national team coach getting paid, coaching other athletes to make it to the Olympic Games of people in our own division. How is that okay? And again,
it's not okay. But somebody's got to, in the situation that we had, I filed a complaint against the coach, had the coach removed and suspended. And that's the proper way to do it. But more importantly, the question becomes, at that point, I believe the CEO was Parthens. Why didn't Parthens handle it? Why did he make me handle it? He should have handled it. He's an employee of the organization. Employees have rules and they also have rights. They have prescriptions. And one of them is when you're coaching the national team, that's your job. That's what you do. And you do it. You don't do other things. What I've seen on the website now, which I found even more fascinating, are these seminars that are being coached by athletes. As an athlete who did seminars when I was on the U.S. team, I never had anything. They didn't put mine up there. There's a reason you don't put mine up there. If I'm not participating in the profit, meaning the organization.
Well, they're doing it together, so same shit.
Well, if they're doing it together, they're still
and they're
doing
promoting
it
for them.
That's
So
unfortunate as well, because you're excluding other athletes from
yeah.
money, and you're promoting certain athletes over others, or certain coaches over others. Now, you can
Mm.
run a national coaching program, which we did, and we made a ton of organizational money. We made a ridiculous amount of money for the organization, and we made money for us, the people that built the program. But we didn't exclude people from teaching in it. One of my instructors was Sherman Spinks, or Sherman Nelson, or whatever he calls himself these days. We offered it to anyone that wanted to be involved in the program. And Coach Moreno was involved in it. Jimmy Kim was involved in it. Anybody that wanted to teach could teach. They had to learn the method. They had to do it. We didn't exclude people. And in fact, we opened our arms to everyone. You want to be part of the USA coaching program. You want to be part of the CIDP, the AIDP, and the referee program. And we had Leon Preston. We had Holloway. We had Coach Moreno. We had Lopez. We had the Poos. We had Nelson. We had Jimmy Kim. We had guys, by the way, who you don't even hold on a second. My phone keeps hijacking me. Woos, the Korean kid out of the
Yeah, what's
Minnesota.
up more?
What's up more?
Not kidding.
We had people you never heard of that we taught to run the program. We said, come, we will help you. We will educate you. We will help you. We didn't exclude people. We had the best and the brightest.
But
And we had those that wanted to be the best and the brightest.
but didn't they, like, going back, just so I'm not mucking the water here? Didn't they?
Did you say not a monkey in the water?
No, mucking,
Oh, okay.
messing.
I was like, that's some sort of racial slur.
I don't even know what that would be. Anyways. Like, what was I about to say? So you got, at one point, even didn't they go to Coach Lee? Didn't they go to the extreme of when you set and help other countries? Wasn't that a thing? Oh, well, he coached for this country, and it was at some random tournament at Open where you were doing someone a favor, or you set for someone in one match or something, and it was a bad thing. Now you fast forward to now.
They called me a traitor. Let me get
yes,
that
there
straight.
we go.
They called me a traitor. It was it was Adams.
Yeah. Jesus.
So I wasn't part of the staff, and Adams trained is actually, we had kind of adopted him. He's like one of our students here, needed a coach, and went out to the Korea World Championships, and his first match was against USA. Then Adams beats him. Great kid, by the way, from the US. Adams beats him. Now it's just an uproar.
Meanwhile, they do that all the time. That's
all the time.
Again, it's my double standard. And listen, going back, I'm going to go back to the coaching thing, because again, if you're getting paid to do something like, for a national team, and you're going to love this one, Herb, because it was Mr. Warwick, there was a situation where two American athletes were going to fight, and they were both, TJ was coaching both of them, and he had to make a decision. And so Paige McPherson was the one he wasn't going to coach. So go ask the national team coach. And he's like, if I can't coach her the whole time, I'm not coaching her at all. I'm like, number one, you get paid to do this. Nobody else is getting paid. You're getting paid. And this is your number one ranked athlete in the country. Like, you can't, and it wasn't like she was fighting somebody else and it was American against American. Like, you couldn't sit in there. And when I told Mr. Work that, I was like, listen, I think that's wrong. He's like, I don't see it that way, Juan. And I'm like,
what do you see it as?
What do you see it as? I mean,
what do you see it as? What do you see it as? That was
you're literally turning your back on an American athlete. You're getting paid for it. You're best American athlete at the moment, and you're just saying, no, I won't do it. Like, I just.
But let's not pretend. But let's not pretend that, like, we're. But then for reverse, they're coaching against Paige at U.S. Opens with Cheyenne. They were pushing Cheyenne to take the spot within the U.S. She's the one, she's getting funding and going places as well to take that spot, and that's just what was going on. If you guys don't believe me, tell me I'm wrong. Someone tell me I'm wrong. Anyone write on this post and tell me that I'm wrong. That was going on within our own country. They were sitting there coaching that girl against Paige, Paige at our own U.S. Open, and then it's they don't want to train with us. Cool, but you're doing the exact thing. You couldn't even sit in her chair for one match.
Yeah. Well, that was I said. That goes back to my question, the double standard. If any of us, if I would have reached out to anyone, to the board, this or that, I would have been.
TJ,
they would have killed me.
To your post, a couple weeks ago. I know we're building, but it's the same thing. They didn't want you to be in a training because you know me, and I might tell somebody else who happens to be connect the dots. Like meanwhile, hundreds of teams training the same facility at once, but they're excluding you.
They're telling to my boss though. Like, think about that, to my boss. So I'm getting this from above. They're telling my boss that's the reason why, because I'm gonna go back and report to you. Like, are you guys stupid? Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And they just pretended like that was normal. They pretended like that was some normal thing, and that's what they're afraid of. Either I'm the nastiest coach in the world, and I can just look at someone and be like, "Hey, coach, this is the answer," or they are just, or I know you said it last time, but how stupid and how petty. How stupid and how petty.
Again, double standards all the way around. And Coach Lee, I'm going to bring you up because all I'm going to say is, for example, whatever they think, whatever they like or don't like, your daughter fights for another country. You coached for that other country. And at every turn, they try to get you disqualified. You have a passport, you have citizenship, you have a GAL, you have all the things that the WT requires, and you got their legal staff showing up to the Olympic qualifier to mess with your daughter's brain, to try to get
money, spending USA team members' money, sending lawyers out there
for no particular reason. Meanwhile, it happens all across the world. You got Russians fighting in different places. You got Iranians fighting in different places. You got a Great Britain people fighting for Moldova. I mean, listen, whether you think it's good or not, it's in all sports. You did things by the book. You have a passport. You have a citizenship. That country gave it to you. This country allows dual citizenship. Blah 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 blah. You're there, but they actively go out to hurt someone like you. Not because of you, but because of what you got on your damn chest right there, because who you associate with and who you associate with, it's the double standard. Meanwhile, Coach,
crazy. Whoa.
I got that one too.
This is what a chest protector should look like. That's what.
How do you charge that up?
Where's the cord?
But the like I said, all the things that the double standard is it's just crazy, and from the get-go, we knew.
It has to stop. It has to stop.
But then other athletes come back to the U.S. and leave. I know, but they do it when it benefits them.
Sure,
correct.
So this is another thing against us. So even a staff member, I don't know if you guys remember this, posted something about, didn't say my name, but basically it was me threatening them at an AAU, threatening them and this and that. Posted it, and shout out to Doug Baker, who was there and called that person out for, again, they're just trying to, it's just always something like slander, this, that.
But again, it was a conversation. We
were joking around.
Wait. Let me say, it's a conversation. Let's say it got heated. Let's say it got debatable. That's all it was. There was nothing more, nothing less. But yet they can go on social media and it's a big deal. And now you're supposed to be in trouble. Again, we got a guy doing this. We got a guy doing this. Guy doing this. No problem.
But Doug, God forbid, again, if Doug Baker wasn't there, it'd still be on there. The next day, deleted. Deleted. But that's the stuff that's going on, and it's the problem. We all know it's just been going on too long. There's so many. We have so many great coaches. We got so many great athletes, and the numbers are dwindling because of this. And it's crazy. Where you should be, I look at just like running a business. You should appreciate people like us who are still passionate, who love what we're doing. We have athletes. We're bringing them. We're making you money. But to try to push this away makes no sense to me. That's like,
even though we're not welcome. Let's be honest. They're not. When I say welcome, they can't stop because you can get a membership, but we're not welcome. They're not happy to see us, and yet we still do. Why? Because we love Taekwondo. Why? Yes. Because we want to give our kids an opportunity. So despite all this craziness that we've talked about over the last 3 or 4 podcasts, we're still here. We're still giving. We're still providing. We're still mentoring. I mean, if we truly we could just pack our bag up and that's it. We quit. But we don't. Despite all this resistance, we're still there. That's what I'm most proud of. I've always said, and I think Grandma's Prez, I told you, we talked about this a long time ago. People are going to come and go. And I know people are going to come and go. And the specific people that are running this organization, they're not going to be here forever. I will. I'm from this country. I've been in this organization since, the early 80s, the early 80s. And I'm not going nowhere. This is what I do. This is what's in my blood. This is what I do. I do taekwondo.
Hey, Grandmaster Perez.
Yeah.
Hey, the USA Team Nationals are in Cali. You going?
Nope.
I will buy your spectator ticket because I think
where are they? Where are they?
I think they would take them out.
Where are they?
I think they're in Fremont, California.
I don't know that.
Fremont. Nobody goes to Fremont.
I think you should go to Fremont.
I think you should go.
Go. Let's go.
I'll go with you. No, I'll go.
Buy you dinner.
I'll buy you dinner.
I'll go. I'll go as long as we can get some Chinese kimchi.
Hey, Coach Lee, you're gonna go? You're gonna go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch.
Okay, I'm gonna watch. You're gonna watch. Let's go in some some kind of ninja garb and just sit there like this.
He said, "Please don't do that."
I don't have to pay for. I don't have to pay for admission because I have a lifetime membership. Apparently, that was.
They changed it. They changed that. You got to pay.
I got to pay for even with a lifetime membership.
Is that lifetime membership supposed to include spectator fees for stuff? Tell me, did I miss that line? I'm about to ask for a refund.
Lifetime,
like $100.
Lifetime mission.
You got one?
Supposed to pay for one.
I got a lifetime membership. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna send you guys. Y'all are getting a refund request from me.
I think they may have rescinded it, but I don't know.
I don't know. I gotta check my fine lines.
Let's do a show in California then.
I will gladly do a show in California.
No, but TJ, you could do just the earphones on and you can have your camera and you can be talking about your coach.
Yo, can you imagine? They'll really kick me out.
TJ, card that. There you go.
This is Moreno, Perez, and the Dream Team.
Yeah.
This is back in the day. I don't know who this guy is, but this is Moreno and Perez. And
you still have that jacket, sir? You still have your jacket?
I do. I have all those jackets. I keep those jackets. They're really good.
So why you gotta bring that up? Because I always just gotta go back here. I don't know why you guys bring that.
And just in case, this is a lifetime. This is an actual depiction of me when I was.
Are you sitting on the toilet paper? What is that sitting on?
That is my shaving cream, and that is tape.
Why you got a blue belt?
Yeah, why did you got a purple belt on?
I actually complained about that. I was like, why do I have a purple belt? But
what are those? What are those shoes? What are you wearing? Combat boots?
Dude, I was.
Like, no. Go back.
Don't be jelly now. Don't be jelly. And then here's some of my beautiful saffron rice from my cookbook, which I sent only to my friends. And then this is TJ lounging in a spa somewhere.
Relax.
Dang.
You're the one that said it. I didn't say it. I don't judge.
Who said it?
Come on, Coach Jennings. Come on. Fire back. Fire back.
It's the Puerto Rican in him. I just stay back and just mind my business.
You're Puerto Rican?
You didn't know
Come
Puerto
on.
Rican?
I thought you were Mexican.
Oh,
he's not worthy of that. Come on now.
I know he's from New York, man. Everyone Puerto Rican or Dominican there, right?
It used to be. Now I think it's changed again. But I've got to, now that you've said that, I've got to figure out what the difference is between Puerto Ricans and Mexicans.
You're all Mexicans.
Oh, hold on.
Just like we all Chinese, we all Mexicans.
Oh my God!
Right?
I don't know. I told you I had 0.06% Chinese.
You might get a call from that.
What is the difference between?
You might get a call.
Probably. Who knows?
Can Puerto Ricans and Mexicans understand each other?
Of course.
That's the first thing that comes up.
That's it.
Are Puerto Ricans darker than Mexicans? Hold on.
What
generally? Yeah.
What are you looking at? That
Puerto Ricans.
I'm just looking. Are you Hispanic if
Google?
you're from Puerto Rico? Yeah. Google. Of course, Dr. Google knows everything.
Do you remember what Puerto Rico?
What is it? It says here. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Google don't know Coach Lee's
Puerto Ricans and Mexicans.
Because that guy couldn't.
Puerto Ricans are smarter.
Hey, man.
Do you remember when Puerto Rico could fight our nationals?
Technology. That's what you got to do.
Oh,
do you remember Puerto Rico could fight the team trials and nationals here?
They can't anymore.
I don't know. I was about to ask you. They did it used to because listen, Christian Melendez used to always come over and fight 54, 58.
They always could. Still, I think
you can. I know.
Yeah,
they can still fight in the U.S. system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently. Well, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna start sending my guys to both. Why not? Shoot.
Oh, I don't know if you can go there.
No, you can't. No, not both.
You
that
can't
way.
go there.
I'm saying like, no. I know.
Which is kind of.
But But back then you didn't have gals though. There was no like gal thing. You think that matters now?
That's a good question.
Good question. Hey,
you could have both.
Mr. Don Lewis will find out real quick.
Because they're
You
both.
could have both. Yeah, because you're American citizen.
We did not
You-
use
you-
we did not use Mr. Lewis to his fullest capacities. He's really a
No, we gotta
brilliant
get him
guy.
back.
All you guys
I
were
had a
trying,
couple requests.
you were trying to
requests,
find a
people said-
goal. That was
People
it.
asked me, they're like, a couple people said, yeah, you got to have him back. I said, we're going to
Gotta
have him
have
on
him
as a reoccurring guest. He was great. And he's
Gotta have him
obviously full of information. I like what TJ said. Maybe we get a subject and he just literally can break it down and we can ask some questions, because I know we're all around and we're pretty free flowing, you know?
Quit
And then
talking
we're
about karate and just talk.
then-
I said, talk about the gold. That's it.
Yeah.
Just
And
do
then
the-
we're dealing
do
with
the show
we're dealing
on the
with,
gold. I don't even care about the other stuff. Just
and then he was dealing with Nico's dad cutting him off every 2 seconds with pictures and different things distracted him. So he couldn't.
He didn't know what to do with you.
He was just like he was all in his way and stuff. He was trying to spit knowledge and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's all
I
good.
think
But
it would
next
be
time-
interesting to listen to him. I think his dissection of the financial state of USAT and why it came to be and what the numbers mean. But I think his numbers, which I'm surprised USAT is afraid of, he's got it. They really do have to do a forensic on the numbers of what's going on in the sport. In a country with 330 million people, when you have diminishing numbers in membership, it's demonstrative either of exclusionary policies or of a downgrading of the opportunities being met. So Starbucks opens the store worldwide, one a day minimum. One a day. There's a new Starbucks somewhere. Can you say the same at Taekwondo? No, you can't. Right. So I mean, there's something going on here that can't be explained by wooden swords that I'm a black belt within, and or Miami hats, or my opinion doesn't matter. So we've got to get to the bottom of it. Oh no.
this is what we got to do. You gotta get Mr. Don Lewis. He's got to be the new Doge.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
We call it double D.
oh my gosh. Oh,
Don
my.
He could be the new Elon.
Oh my.
What? I'm not trying to be political. It's just Coach Jennings getting all mad at me, like, hey, settle down, man. I know you.
Hey, I like your shirt, TJ.
You
My
like that?
opinion offended? Yeah, let me see it.
Obviously,
shout
my
out.
opinion just offended him.
You can hear what I keep to myself. That's good.
I got
Shout
it.
out to one
That
of my
should become
clients
on
had
your
this shirt. I had to go get one. I'm like, that just fits the topic. So
Yeah,
we'll
we
talk
got to.
about it.
Well, I think we've taken enough of people's time today, but we'll have you back on despite what Moreno says about you. And then are you a 7th Don? Is that what I'm seeing back there?
Come on, he's
I'm a 7th Dan
Grandmaster.
Kugelman. I got an 8th Dan from Grandmaster Thack.
Nice. And then what?
I can't be like you going to Korea trying to wearing that shiny garb and
Dude, I don't know how they, we have a good friend of ours who took the test. I don't want to mention his name till it's official because I don't want anybody to interfere with the results, but we will soon have another 9th Don,
nice.
a good friend of ours, and we'll celebrate it once it's done. But you never know the mechanics and the wheels that pull those wheels. I don't want to.
Yes, sir.
I was pretty quiet about my test till it was done. And then when they put my results out, I actually took a picture of it. I want to make sure they couldn't change it. Like I'm reading the email. It's like, oh, we test a lot of people and we did a very thorough review, and I'm waiting to see, I failed. And they're like, congratulations. I'm like, what? So I was like, click, let me take a picture of it. But I'm honored to have been able to do that journey. And I worked on to the nth degree to make sure it was correct. And now the finger goes here now when it used to go here.
Oh boy. Here we go.
That's a bullshit
all
right there,
the
man.
I can tell you where the finger
Coach
definitely
Marino,
can
YouTube
go.
that. Put it on the screen.
Man,
That's
the problem with our art, that they're gonna. It used to be like this, but now it's like, man, shut up, man.
I know it was either right or it was
Shut
wrong, but
up.
it all came from karate.
Who
So-
invented a walking stance? Shut
Oh,
up.
first of all, walking stance is the dumbest thing that I've ever
TJ,
seen.
am I wrong?
Oh,
Come on, man.
it doesn't make any sense.
Don't get everyone started now. We're all
No. What Plum say? Pumse is
No.
what athletes do when
No,
they're
no, no.
injured. I mean, let me just be clear.
No, no, I have a respect. I have
These
I have a
Pumse
respect for all
people
these
now.
guys. Who do
You
Pumse.
can,
Oh,
you
no,
can,
that's not what it's
you
about.
can.
I remember. I
remember
remember when I competed when it's choreo and you try to kick
now we're
second
going all over.
all the way back up. You know, you're supposed to be one, and you try to get really high on the second one. I remember years after, like, no, you have to kick at your head level. For the unflexible people in Pumse, they said you got to. Now it's back. Yeah, but what kind of that's crazy. You know,
That's how I hurt my arm. I was trying to do choreo.
Old school like this. Not like
And they don't know. These people.
No,
don't
they
know.
just make it up and they change it so they can have referee seminars.
I'm
I
sure.
mean, if it's traditional, here's the paradigm. If it's traditional and correct, and it came from a cave wall with two fat Koreans 50,000 years ago, then it's traditional and correct. You can't change it. You can change the kicking technique for sparring because, you know, it is what it is. But if this was the right way and you're pushing the boulder up the hill and it's correct back then that doesn't change. This doesn't
maybe
change.
the boulder changed
There's not a-
size over history.
There's not a
First
better
of
way
all-
to do it.
First of
But
all,
why is pushing a boulder a martial art?
first of all, let me from a Korean, I would use a wheelbarrow.
It's a,
The motion like this. This motion would be in the Pumse.
I don't want to offend anybody or I do my Korean accent.
You
But
already did it.
You probably don't want to do that. But
no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to get, I have enough people hating on me.
That was soft.
we're already gonna get calls.
You know,
They're gonna call iPad. They don't know your name. It's iPad, so they're gonna call iPad.
my email
why I
address,
hid myself.
sorry, not sorry, but my email address is tjjennings at, you know,
Juanmoreno.com.
yeah, exactly.
Lamareno.com.
Yes. But you guys missed the beginning of the show where we had to help Grandmaster Lee, figure out how to use Google, and we made a very special email address for him, which I won't repeat on. It's a reference from the movie Platoon, but
And-
you'll know what it is.
And if you would have heard the words from these guys, you'd be canceled for sure.
Nothing but mad love and respect.
Hey,
Mad love.
so many curse words coming my way. Blah 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 blah.
Man, shut the hell
It
up.
was it was a close call. I'm glad you made it. I'm super excited you actually got on here. It was close. It got late. My phone started dying. The sun started going down. But I'm glad you figured out how to access your email.
I'm actually glad that you could find how to use an email on that flip.
I'm so happy.
Still made flip.
Okay, hey, man, you started out like this. Now you're gonna end it like this. Now I'm gonna get off the show. I'm gonna be a little bit pissed. Like,
You'll have to come back. You'll have to come back.
I'm gonna text you guys for sure. But it was awesome, you guys. Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be with you guys. Some amazing Taekwondo people, athletes, my mentors.
Well, I would talk.
You guys have helped me in so many different ways.
I would talk to you more, but I've been
Fred.
told not to speak to you from some members of the USAT. But
Well, email me. No, just kidding. But
Right,
you
everybody.
you guys are awesome, and I hope this show continues and grows, and hope to be back in June, or is it end of July? California.
Well, best wishes to your athletes.
Thank you, sir.
From all the various countries and the places in the states that you teach, and your wonderful program out there, which I've never been invited to for a seminar.
Oh, this guy.
Different story, but you know, Minnesota, I have been to. I've been to the Twin Cities. Is it?
Yes.
And I love that. And my son is on his college. Do you guys have a university out there? John Hopkins?
No, we're the only state that we don't have any type of education like that here.
You're kidding. No, there's got to be something.
Hey, Mr. Perez, come on, you're like one of the smartest guys. You're gonna ask me if we have a university here?
I heard you
You
have
make
a
it sound
pretty
like
good one.
we.
Yeah, I heard you had a pretty good.
Where do
one.
you
I don't even
live?
wanna say
We're on the
Yes,
soccer. We're on the soccer
at
tour, not the
universities here
luge tour.
that have very good college soccer programs. My daughter is working on that as well.
His daughter's a high-level soccer player.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, where's she? Where's she at?
Well, she's still in high school. She's only a sophomore, but in the next 2 months, she can.
This is the year.
Yeah, in 2 months she can start talking to colleges. But yeah, we've been through all the spiel. I listened to some of a lot of it's a lot of garbage. I know that, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
You got listen. It's the hardest things in the world to get recruited for: basketball, football, and soccer. But some of
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yeah, because
Apparently in North Carolina, you got to kiss the ring and then kiss something else, and you can get recruited.
pigeon signals and all that stuff, man.
All right, we better stop before we get in more trouble.
Yeah.
We are the Warehouse 15. Thank you, everybody.
Dude.